Hello friends, my name is Dalit Soni and you are watching Polity This Week by Drishti IAS. In this episode, we'll be discussing the important developments which has happened in the field of polity in the last week. So let's start our discussion. Today we'll be discussing nearly 4 topics which are here in front of you. We'll be talking about the evolving role of Khap Panchayat. Recently, there have been seen some kind of changes as society progresses. There are certain changes which are happening in the working of the Khap Panchayats. So we'll be talking about that. We'll also see how these can be capitalized in the judicial system as well. So we will be talking about these Khap Panchayats with respect to the ADRs as well. Okay, and then we'll be moving to the next one, that is your State Finance Commission. Okay, when we talk about the 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, they have provided for the State Finance Commission. They have also provided for the State Election Commission. So with respect to that, we will be talking about certain concerns which are there with when we are talking about the State Finance Commissions. We will be giving a passing reference to the Finance Commission as well. When we talk about the at the level of you can say India, we have this National Finance Commission as well. So we will be giving a passing reference to that as well. Then moving further, sexual intercourse with minor wife. Recently there was this course in the case in the Bombay High Court, and in that case it was said that if you are going for the sexual intercourse with your minor wife, even with consent, in that case also it will be considered as rape. So we will be talking about that particular law. We will be talking about the age of consent. We will be seeing that how it is different from the marital rape. Okay, then coming to the next one, Prime Minister's internship scheme. Okay, so we have this internship scheme which we will be discussing, because recently the pilot project, you can say the admissions or you can say the application has been taken for that. So we will be talking about all these topics in our today's discussion. So let's start. Before moving further, I have this announcement for you. If you are preparing for UPSC, then you have to come to Noida now and not Mukherjee Nagar. Yes, the Noida is the new UPSC hub now. Okay, so those classes which used to be conducted in Mukherjee Nagar will be conducted in Noida by Drishti IAS, and the address will be C171/2 Block A, Sector 15, Noida. Okay, and the nearest metro station is Noida Sector 15. Other than that, if you need more information, you can call on this number, that is 9311406440, or you can click on the link which is given in the description to get the more information. Okay. Other than that, when we are talking about the classes being started in Noida, so this is the you can say dates on which batches are starting. For Hindi medium, the GS Foundation course is starting on 9th December 11:30 AM, and for English medium 12th December 6 PM in the evening. Okay, so that is about the announcement, and if you have not subscribed the channel, please subscribe it. Now let's start with our session. Okay, so we have started this thing that we will be giving you the explanation of the questions which has been asked in the previous you can say lecture as well. So let's see here, which article of the Indian Constitution deal with the protection of minority? Article 15, Article 29, 30, Article 19 and Article 21. So option B is your right answer. That is when we are talking about the minorities and the, you can say some of the protection of rights of the minorities. In that case, we will be talking about the Article 29 and 30. Okay. Then moving further, which article of the Indian Constitution provides for the appointment of Chief Justice of India? Recently, you know that Sanjeev Khanna has been made new Chief Justice, and that is why Article 124 becomes important for you. That is dealing with the appointments of the judges in Supreme Court. Okay. So now we can move further to the next one, that is which article of the Indian Constitution has been interpreted to include accessibility for disabled person or the people as part of the right to life. Okay, now they have given the answer in the question itself that they are talking about the right to life over here, and if you know, then Article 21 is your answer. Okay, moving further to the next and last question, the term bulldozer justice primarily referred to a legal mechanism for swift property clearance, arbitrary demolition of properties as punitive measure, compensation for property loss, construction of new infrastructure in the public areas. So basically here they are talking about bulldozer justice, that is an arbitrary action taken by the executive. Option B would be your right answer, arbitrary demolition of properties as a punitive measure. Okay, so that is your answers over here. Now let's start with the first article which we will be discussing over here, that is your evolving roles of the Khap Panchayat. Okay, in the recent past, it was seen that the historical bodies like Khap Panchayat, which used to be, you can say, when we talk about the bodies for the social policing or the social governance, we can say, or to maintain harmony in the communities, these Khap Panchayats were there. They had their own rules, they had their own historical context. But recently it was seen that they are coming out of the historical clutches and they are being progressive, and they are helping the women athletes, etc. So considering that their role is evolving in the society, so we will be talking about that. So let's start with the discussion. First, we will be talking about what are these Khap Panchayats. Okay, Khap Panchayats are traditional community-based councils, primarily in North India, especially in Haryana and Uttar Pradesh, that functions as informal judicial bodies. Again, these are informal judicial bodies. When we talk about the panchayat sector earlier, before we have given the constitutional status or the legal status to the panchayat, before that also in India we had panchayats. Now these panchayats used to work as the judicial bodies in the, you can say, villages, and they has acquired this character in the after independence as well. We have seen that there are various panchayats which are active. Of them, we have Khap Panchayats. These used to work as informal judicial bodies. Originating centuries ago, they were formed among the kinship groups, that is Khaps, to address social governance issues within their communities. Whatever issues are there within their communities, be it family related matter or property related matter, they used to intervene in that. They used to be providing you can say judicial function in the village. Okay, no doubt these are informal ones. So they had a role to play in the society, in the village societies. Now historical role, if we talk about, the system played a significant role in the maintaining social order in rural societies. Now this is the thing, social order in the rural societies. Even in today's hinterland India, if you go, they are hours of going to police, they are hours of going to the judicial system. Okay, but if they want to, you can say, resolve a dispute, they will go to the panchayat. So that is the scene which is there in the rural India. So historically also they have maintained social order in the rural societies, acting as forum for the conflict resolution within caste hierarchies and operating parallel to formal legal system while prioritizing the customary norms. As I told you, they have their own rules, they have their own customs on which they will be working. Okay, so that is the idea of the Khap Panchayat, which is there in the rural and the hinterland India, mostly in Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. You will be seeing these Khap Panchayat. Okay, now let's see. When we have this kind of system, then what are the issues they are facing? So Khap Panchayat issues over here. One is the patriarchal practices. Obviously they have evolved in a setup which was patriarchal in nature, and even today we are living in a kind of patriarchal system. So obviously that influence is there. So on their mindset, on their rules, customs, etc., we see a patriarchal influence that you can say negatively impact the rights of the woman. So that is there. Even patriarchy is not only impacting the woman only, but it is also impacting the men as well. So these are the patriarchal practices which are there, which are harming, you can say, the social fabric altogether. Represents the gender inequality and the rigid social norm which are there in the you can say their caste and the communities and the hierarchies. Okay, coming to the next one, honor killings. It highlights the extreme consequence of the opposing societal norms. If you are going for, let's say, intercaste marriage, in that case there are high chances that you must have heard about the cases of the honor killings. So that was also one of the issue which was faced by the Khap Panchayat. Okay, then next is your caste biases. Obviously we have seen that they work in the caste hierarchies, so that is also there. So they somehow, you can say, they are strengthening the caste system as well. Okay, so these are some issues which are there with respect to the Khap Panchayat. But if you look at the recently the norm has been changing, they are evolving. We will be seeing how. And there is this, when we are talking about the honor killings, there is a case which is worth mentioning over here, that is Shakti Vahini versus Union of India case 2018. It was a landmark judgment by the Supreme Court of India that addresses the issue of honor killings and the intercaste marriages. Okay, so please remember this particular name of the case, that can be asked in some prelims examination or something. So the court ruled that the honor killings are violation of fundamental rights and emphasized the need for strict action against such crimes which are happening in the society. Okay, it directed the state governments to take proactive measures to prevent honor killings, including setting up special cells and providing protection to the couples facing threat from their families. Okay, so this was the ruling which was worth mentioning over here, that is Shakti Vahini versus Union of India, which I have told you. Now coming to the next one, as I told you, the roles of the Khap are evolving. How it is evolving, here you can see 𝐸𝐻𝐒 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐥𝐢𝐻 Now this 𝐸𝐻𝐒 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐥𝐢𝐻 is an example of Khap which is working progressively in the field, or you can say they are promoting the female athletes. Okay, so that is their support for the women athletes, that is there. Second is the gender justice. Now they are talking about the gender justice as well. As the society progresses, as the education penetrates into the rural India, now the, you can say, idea, or you can say the thought process of these Khaps are also changing. So one example is Meham Chaubisi. So this you can remember. With that, we can say that they are ready to play a progressive role in the society. Okay, now we can use this Khap Panchayat for the developmental aspects as well. So let's see how. Now this is the evolving role of Khap Panchayat with respect to supporting women. And now what we can do over here is that dispute resolution roles. We know that there is a well established system which is there, which is informal in nature. Can we go for making this informal system to a formal or a semi-formal system? Okay, or you can say we can at least regulate it so that they work within the constraints of the constitution, within the boundaries of the constitution. Okay, if they are working in the boundaries of the constitution, that means that you will be utilizing them for the dispute resolution. Okay, we know that in our courts there is a pending, which is the pending cases which are there, so pendency is very high. So if there is a body which can provide you alternative dispute resolution mechanism, so why not use it? So that can be done over here. That is one thing. Second is developmental agendas. Till now they have worked on the social issues, they have worked on the social disputes within the caste hierarchies. Why can't they work on the developmental agenda like health, education, etc.? So that is another thing where we can capitalize them. Third thing is accountability and the alignment. Till now, since they are informal, so that is why they do not have accountability. Okay, and if we are making them part of the formal system or the semi-formal system or the quasi-judicial system, in that case we can say that there can be accountability which can be imposed over here, and alignment with the law. Okay, they can work within the boundaries of the law. We can, basically in the case of panchayat, what we have done is that we have taken 29 areas where panchayats as the local bodies they will work. Similarly, we can identify such areas where these Khap Panchayats can work. Okay, so this is the idea, that we are trying to enhance the Khap Panchayats for the positive impacts. We are trying to utilize their progressive role in the society. Okay, now coming to the next one, how we will be doing that. So we can integrate them in the alternative dispute resolution mechanism, that is ADR. In India we also have ADR systems which are in place. There are mostly 4 type of systems of ADR which are there, like negotiation, mediation, conciliation, etc. So we'll be talking about that in the further slide. But right now we are saying that we can utilize these Khap Panchayat, or we can integrate these Khap Panchayat in the ADR mechanism, so that they can be a help in the judicial processes. They can actually lead and lead a way. So what we are saying is that actually we can utilize their role which they are playing in the society for the dispute resolution mechanisms, so that pendency can be improved, or you can say case does not have to go to the court. Before that only, if they can manage the situation. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So here, first, why ADR? Why do we want them to integrate with ADR? Okay, so let's see over here. Reduces judicial burden. As I told you, pendency is high. If the cases are being resolved outside the court, that will be a help to the judiciary. Okay, confidentiality. So the factor of confidentiality can be introduced over here, that if there is a dispute, you don't have to openly discuss it. You can discuss it within the 4 walls as well. So that is the second thing. Third thing is flexibility. Okay, now when they are not in a very formal system, or they are not in the courts, or they are not bound by the procedure of the law, in that case the flexibility can be there. Like in the Lok Adalat, we have the flexibility. So that kind of thing can be done over here. Then cost effectiveness. Obviously legal procedures are very costly, so these Khap Panchayats, if they are involved in the ADR mechanism, they can be, you can say, less expensive. Okay, so that is one thing. Second is collaboration. Now how do you want them to collaborate with, or who do you want them to collaborate with? So basically partnership with the judiciary. So if there is a case, judiciary thinks that this is fit for the Khap Panchayat to take a cognizance of, or they can decide on that, they can transfer it to the Khap Panchayat, like which is done in the case of Lok Adalat as well. Okay, so most of the cases are transferred to the Lok Adalat if there is a potential that they can resolve the issue by the negotiation, or you can say just talking the scenarios. Okay, then second is the governance bodies. There are various governance bodies. With them they can work on the developmental agendas. Then we have legal compliance. As I told you, if we are going for the semi-formalization or the formalization of these bodies, that means that that has to be legally compliant, that they cannot violate the rule of law. Okay, so that is the thing. And human right protection, they can work in the area of human right protection as well. Now, steps for the integration. How will you go for the integration? So here you can see, define the legal framework. First, you will be defining that what kind of work and in which area they will be working. Second, implement the training program. You have to train the members of the panchayats. Okay, you have to train the leadership over there so that they know that this is the law and we cannot violate this particular law. Okay, then establish oversight mechanism. You have to keep a mechanism which ensures that there is an accountability. They do not do anything which is ultimately harming the law. Okay, so that is there. We can go for the oversight and launch public awareness campaign. Now, once all these things are in place, then we can launch public awareness campaigns wherein public can be aware of the role of the Khap Panchayats, wherein in the system which we have devised or which we are thinking of devising, in that particular system, what is the role of these Khap Panchayats. So that is the idea of the Khap Panchayats being integrated in the ADR mechanism. Now let's see, when we are talking about the ADR, alternative dispute resolution, so there are 5 types of ADR. 4 are prominently used in India, so we'll be talking about that. One is your arbitration. Now, we'll be starting with the negotiation because that will be easy for you to understand. Negotiation means that there are 2 parties. Okay, there are 2 parties and they are facing some kind of problem, and they have decided that their lawyer and they will sit together. Okay, there is their lawyer and they will sit together and they will talk it out. Okay, and they can resolve the issue. Some of the thing he can you can say manage or compromise on, some of the thing they can compromise on, and they will come up with a solution. That is basically negotiation. Okay, so that is the you can say traditional method which is generally used. Traditionally occurs directly between the parties and their counsel, does not involve the third party. Okay, so there is no third party involvement, directly counsels the parties are talking. Okay, then comes the mediation. Now, mediation is the process when case has already been gone to the court. Okay, and at that point of time, or you can say even before that also, mediation is something, there will be a third party. Okay, and then that particular third party will be mediating among the 2 parties. Okay, so let's see here, a very flexible process that can be effectively used at any time during the course of the disputes. Okay, simple thing is, mediation means there will be a mediator. Okay, and there will be 2 parties and they will try to come up with a solution. Then coming to the next one, that is basically your arbitration. In the arbitration, there will be a third party, neutral third party, who will oversee the procedure, and they will also actually look into the evidence. Okay, so they will go for the looking into the evidence, and then they will give an award, they will give a decree. Okay, so basically that will be followed by the parties over here. Okay, so there will be, within the 2 parties, there will be one arbitrator. Okay, which will be there. And conciliation, there will when we are talking about conciliation, then there is also a third party, neutral third party, to communicate with the parties for the exchange of information. Now, in this case, the third party will be there, but that party will not take any evidence or something. That will just act as a mediator, which will actually, you can say, take information from one party to another party. Now, what is the point of this conciliation? In the case of conciliation, most of the time you will be seeing, in the case of property, etc., brothers are not talking to each other. There is some kind of you can say wall between the parties, and because of which these 2 parties are not talking to each other. In that case, this conciliation or the conciliator, that will be the person who will exchange the information on their behalf. Okay, so that is the conciliation. So basically, if you look at all these, you can say, methods, you will be realizing one thing, that there is a way outside the court they are trying to settle the dispute. Okay, so that is your alternative dispute mechanism or alternative dispute redressal mechanism, ADRs. Okay, so we are trying to say that we are also thinking about integrating Khaps into these ADR mechanism. That is just a suggestion. Okay, so that is about your Khap Panchayat and their role. And other than that, we have also talked about the types of ADR as well. Now we can move further to the next one, that is State Finance Commission. Now, recently what has happened is that the Finance Commission has seen, or they have come up with a report wherein they have seen that various states are not going for constituting the 6th State Finance Commission. Okay, State Finance Commissions are supposed to be constituted at every 5 years, but there are various states which are stuck on the 2nd State Finance Commission, 3rd State Finance Commission. And when we are talking about the recent you can say cases wherein, except Arunachal Pradesh, the various states has constituted the State Finance Commission after the you can say National Finance Commission has taken the you can say issue over here, and they have come up with the report, and they have said that if you are not constituting the State Finance Commission, they will not be considered for the grant in the next year or the 2024. Okay, so basically according to the Ministry of Panchayati Raj, all states except Arunachal Pradesh have constituted State Finance Commission. The 15th Finance Commission in its report expressed significant concerns over the delay in constituting SFCs, and wherein they have said that they will not, you can say, consider them for the grants if they do not have the State Finance Commission. Now we will see what is State Finance Commission, what kind of role they play. Okay, so State Finance Commission are the constitutional bodies, as I told you. With the 73rd and 74th Constitution Amendment Act, we have come up with the idea of the State Finance Commissions established by the under Article 243I of the Indian Constitution. Governor is required to constitute State Finance Commission within 1 year from the enactment of the 73rd Constitution Amendment Act. In the 73rd Constitution Amendment, we have talked about the Panchayati Raj system. In the Panchayat, we have said that there will be an election commission, State Election Commission for the elections of the Panchayat, and there will be a State Finance Commission for the distribution of money between states and the local bodies. Okay. For that, they have said that the governor will have 1 year within which they have to establish a State Finance Commission, and after that, thereafter, every 5 years, they have to go for the you can say constitution of the State Finance Commission. That is within 1 year of enactment of the 73rd Constitution Amendment Act, and every 5 years thereafter. Okay. Now, what is the mandate? To recommend the distribution of the financial resources between the state government and the local bodies, which we have seen. So this is the role and the establishment of the State Finance Commission. Now, moving further, we will be seeing that enhancing the local governance through State Finance Commission. What is the role State Finance Commissions are basically playing in the local governance? Okay, so let's see. Constitutional compliance. As I told you, there is the Article 243I, which says that you have to establish a you can say State Finance Commission. Then coming to the next one, fiscal devolution. We have seen that mandate is to basically distribute the resources or financial resources between the state and the local bodies. So that is their fiscal devolution. Equitable financial transfer to the local government. Then bridging the fiscal gap. Now, when we are talking about the local bodies, when we talk about the panchayats, okay, and when we talk about the municipalities or urban local bodies, that would be better word. Okay, so in panchayat there are 29, you can say, entries wherein panchayat has to work. Okay, these are the areas where panchayat will work, and there are 18 areas with respect to the municipalities where they have to work. Now they have this much areas, but their source of finance is limited. Okay, so there is a gap between the responsibility and the resources or the revenue, and that is why the Finance Commission is there to balance that particular gap, bridge the fiscal gap. Empowering the local governance. When they have money, they have the revenue, then only they will be able to work in their own field. That is their improved accountability. Okay, so with the this particular thing, State Finance Commission also look into the you can say the functioning of these you can say urban local bodies or the panchayats, etc. And there are sometimes funds which are tied to performance as well. Okay, so if your funds are tied to performance, that means that there will be accountability as well. Then addressing the local needs. Now, State Finance Commissions are constituted inside the state, so they are aware of the, you can say, issues and the concerns of the local areas, and that is how they will be developing the funds. Okay, so that is basically the role of State Finance Commissions in the governance. Now, moving further, what are the issues? So one is your compliance issue. Compliance issue means that when we said that there is the necessary you can say establishment of the State Finance Commission which is there, but despite that there are various states which has lagged behind. There are states which are having second and third State Finance Commission, wherein logically they should be having the sixth one. Okay, so that is their delay in the constituting SFCs. State stuck at earlier SFCs, as I told you, second and third they are stuck at. Then coming to the next one, lack of the political will. Okay, resistant to devolve the power. Now state has the revenues. Okay, now no one wants to devolve their power to someone else. Okay, so that is also there. So there is a lack of political will with respect to the, you can say, revenue transfers. Okay, so that is second thing. Resource deficiencies. As I told you, the urban local bodies and the panchayats, they do not have much source of their own funding. Okay, so that is also there, because of which there is a resource deficiency which is there. Other than that, also when we talk about the you can say State Finance Commission, etc., their own members are facing the resource crunch. That means that they do not have the required technical expertise, etc. Okay, so that is there. Coming to the next one, deficiency in the expertise. As I told you, this point has already been you can say explained over here. Ignorance of SFC's recommendation. Now these recommendation of the State Finance Commission or the National Finance Commission, these are basically advisory in nature. Okay, so some of the time you will be seeing that they have given good recommendations but they were not implemented at all. Okay, so there is lack of political will which is there. These are some of the issues which are faced by the State Finance Commissions. Okay, so that is there. Now moving further, we have talked about the State Finance Commission, and now there is this some information with respect to Finance Commission which is given in this particular infographic over here. Article 280 is talking about the constitution of the National Finance Commission. Okay, obviously it is Finance Commission only, but to distinguish between the state and national, I am calling it as a National Finance Commission. Okay, so under Article 280 we have a Finance Commission provision for the Finance Commission, and Finance Commission is a quasi judicial body. They are advisory, their roles or the recommendations are advisory in nature. Okay, it is constituted by whom? President. In the case of a state, it is constituted by the governor. Okay, now when we are talking about the recommendation, as I told you, with respect to the tax devolutions etc., they are going to give you the recommendation. You can go through this particular slide over here. Okay, first Finance Commission that was there in 1952 to 57, chairman was K.C. Niyogi. Second Finance Commission, that is 57 to 62, K. Santhanam was the chairman, and the current Finance Commission, that is basically your 15th Finance Commission which is there, chairman is N.K. Singh. 16th has been constituted. Okay, so you can tell me you can say constitution of the 16th Finance Commission in the comment box. Okay, now moving further, consensual sexual intercourse with minor wife is rape. As I told you that there was this Bombay High Court judgment which was there, and in that case Bombay High Court has said that even if you are going for the consensual sexual activity with your minor wife, okay, then it is a rape. Why? Because a minor is you can say not eligible, or I would say not capable of giving the consent. Okay, because since they are minor, that means that their consent is not well thought. Okay, so that is the thing which we are talking about right now. So here we can move further and let's see what is the Bombay High Court and their observations are. So see, recently the Bombay High Court in the matter of S versus State of Maharashtra, I guess there was some mistake over here. I will confirm the name of this particular case and put it in the comment box, so please keep a tab on that. Okay, so there was the recent case which was there in the Maharashtra, Bombay, or you can say High Court of Bombay. In that they have actually reinforced the principle that the marriage cannot be used as defense in cases involving the sexual offense against the minor regardless of the consent or marital status. So basically they are saying, if there is a person, if the female is minor and you are going for the sexual activity or sexual intercourse with her, in that case it is an offense. Okay, so it does not matter whether she has given the consent, okay, or whether she is your wife. It does not matter. If she is minor, that is the case of rape. Okay, now moving further, Bombay High Court observed that on consent and marriages, we will be seeing the court has held that the sexual intercourse with a girl below 18 years is a rape regardless of the marital status. The defense of consensual sex, if you are saying that it was consensual or the consent was there, that does not matter, because the person who is less than 18 years cannot give a consent. Okay, so consensual sex with a wife is not available when the wife is below 18 years, so that defense you cannot take. Even if there was a supposed marriage, non-consensual intercourse with a wife below 18 years constitutes rape. So the thing is, if consent has been there or not, if she is minor, that means it is a rape, so that is an offense. Okay, now let's see, when we are talking about the offense of rape, where it is mentioned in the section 63 of the BNS. Okay, now we know that earlier it was IPC, now it has become BNS. So that is there. Rape as defined under section 63 of BNS is one of the most heinous crime against women and far-reaching physical, emotional and the psychological consequences. According to the statute, the rape occurs when there is a sexual intercourse with a woman against her will without her consent under certain specific conditions. Okay, here that important thing is without her consent. Consent is very much important. Okay, now these conditions include instances where consent is obtained through coercion. Now you have seen that there are certain cases wherein with coercion, that coercion can be economic coercion, that coercion can be emotional coercion. or physical coercion. If you have taken a consent by a coercion, that means that consent is not valid. Okay, so here you can see these conditions include instances where consent is obtained through coercion, deception, okay, by means of any kind of deceptions or by means of any kind of lies, if you have taken the consent, or when the woman is unable to give the consent due to the intoxication, unsoundness of mind, or being under the age of consent. Okay, that is, age of consent in India is basically 18 years. So basically we are saying that if you have taken consent by coercion or deception, or if some person who is minor, in that case that consent is not valid. Again, if you are going for the sexual intercourse with such person, that is the offense of rape, which is mentioned in section 63 of BNS. Now, what is the age of consent under POXO Act? Okay, so POXO Act raised the age of consent for the sexual activities to 18 years from 16 years in 2012. Earlier it was less, now that has been increased to 18 years. It denies the consensual sexual agency for young person falling in the age of 16 to 18 years. Earlier, as I told you, it was in 2000 till 2012 it was 16 years. That means that they have taken this bracket out of the that particular, you can say, a person having the agency for the sexual intercourse. Okay, so that is there. In case of the state of Madhya Pradesh versus Balu, the Supreme Court held the consent of minors have no value in the eyes of law, hence it is not valid. That means that a person who is minor, their consent is having no value in the eyes of law, because they are not you can say able to give the consent. Then moving further, AK versus state of NCT of Delhi, state government of NCT of Delhi, the High Court stated that the intention of POXO 2012 was to protect children below the age of 18 years from sexual exploitation and not to criminalize the romantic relation between consenting young adults. That means that you can have a romantic relation, okay, but you cannot have an intercourse with a minor. Okay, so that is the crux of the whole discussion over here. If your wife, if your partner is minor, in that case, if you are going for the sexual activities or sexual intercourse, that is considered as rape under section 63 of BNS. Okay, so that is about this article. Now we can move further, that is PM Internship Scheme 2024. Okay, now here we are talking about the PM Internship Scheme. There are certain eligibilities which are given, which we will be talking about. The idea behind over here is that there are certain, when we are talking about the employable class or employable workforce which is there, but still they are not getting jobs in, you know, because of the lack of experience, etc. For that and for the skill development, they have come up with the PM Internship Scheme. So let's talk about that. Okay, so it was announced in the budget 2024-25. Aim was to provide 1 crore internship in top companies over 5 years with a 12-month pilot project targeting 1.25 lakh youth in 2024-25. So right now in 24-25 they will be going for a pilot project wherein they will be giving internship to 1.25 lakh youth. Okay, moving further, the program enables real world business exposure, focusing on bridging the gap between academic learning and the industrial demand. Pilot project, as I told you, that will be there to provide on the job training to 1 crore youth over 5 years. 1.27 lakh internship opportunities were offered by 280 companies including Tata Steel, ITC Limited, ICICI and the Mahindra Group. So basically what they are doing is they will be giving 1 crore internship in next 5 years. Pilot project will start from 2024-25. They will be giving internship to 1.25 lakh people, and there are nearly 280 companies which has been selected for that. Okay, so that is about this. Now we will be seeing that what is the eligibility criteria, who will be eligible for this. So there are 2-3 criteria are there. One is the age requirement. Age requirement is 21 to 24 years. Okay, these are the bracket of age wherein people can apply for the internship. Second is educational qualification. So the person must have completed the high school, ITI diploma or graduate degree. Okay, and he is not in full-time employment on the education. So the thing is that person has got the degree, okay, and he is not into the full-time employment or under any kind of full-time educational courses. Okay, so that is there, that is the education related criteria. Then other than that, if there is one more criteria which is there, the income limitation, that individual with annual income less than, sorry, not exceeding, less than 8 lakh. Okay, so if a person who is having the income which is less than 8 lakh, then he will be able eligible for this particular internship. there are certain exclusions. There are certain class of people who has kept out of this particular scheme. That is the person who has gotten the degree from the IITs, IIMs. They are not basically eligible for that. So graduates from IITs, IIM, NLUs or similar premium institutions are not eligible for that. Holders of higher professional degrees, individuals with annual income exceeding 8 lakhs, families with regular government employees. Okay, so these are the exclusions which are there with respect to the PM's internship scheme. Okay, so we have discussed the PM's internship scheme. We have talked about the you can say consensual sex with the minor wife. We have talked about the Khap Panchayats. We have talked about the State Finance Commission. We have talked about the Finance Commission as well. So these are the discussions were there for the today. So with that, we end our discussion over here. Let's see the questions now. Okay. So, which landmark case condemned the honor killing? Vishakha versus State of Rajasthan, Lata Singh versus State of Uttar Pradesh, Shakti Vahini versus Union of India, Navtej Singh Johar versus Union of India. Okay, so you can go through all these options and you can reply me in the comment box the right choice. Other than that, also you can go through all the cases, okay, and you can see in which area they have given the judgment. Okay, so that is there. Now moving further to the next one, that is under which constitutional provision is the State Finance Commission established? Article 243G, Article 280, Article 243I, Article 256. Okay. Moving further, what is the age of consent for sexual activity in India as per POXO Act 2012? 16 years, 18 years, 21 years or 14 years. Okay. Now moving further, which of the following is not eligible for the PM internship scheme? Youth not in full-time employment or education, graduate from IITs and IIMs, candidates with an undergraduate degree, candidate who have completed ITI or diploma courses. Okay, so you can attempt all these questions and answer to me in the comment box. With that, I would like to take your leave. I'll see you in the next episode. Till then, have a good day. Thank you and please subscribe the channel.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.